In December 1835, a devastating fire swept through New York City. The inferno raged uncontrollably, consuming everything in its path and leaving a trail of destruction. The fire started in a warehouse and quickly spread due to strong winds and the abundance of wooden structures. This fire, known as the Great Fire of 1835, destroyed much of Lower Manhattan. It obliterated hundreds of buildings, leaving thousands homeless and causing millions of dollars in damage. The city's infrastructure was in ruins, and the community was left to pick up the pieces. It was a turning point in the city's history. The devastation forced city planners and leaders to rethink their approach to urban development and fire safety. The fire highlighted the vulnerabilities of the city's wooden buildings and the need for more robust construction methods. After the fire, New York adopted stricter building codes. These new regulations mandated the use of fire-resistant materials and improved construction techniques. The city also invested in better firefighting equipment and infrastructure to prevent such a disaster from happening again. Wood, once the primary building material, was now seen as too dangerous. The fire had shown that wooden structures were highly susceptible to fire, prompting a shift in building practices. The city turned to more durable materials, stone and brick. These materials were not only more fire-resistant but also provided greater structural integrity, allowing for the construction of taller and more resilient buildings. This change marked the beginning of a new era in New York architecture. The city's skyline began to transform, with new buildings reflecting the lessons learned from the fire. Buildings became taller and stronger, shaping the city's skyline into what we see today. The Great Fire of 1835, though devastating, ultimately led to a stronger, more resilient New York City, paving the way for its future growth and development. Stone and brick weren't just practical, they were aesthetically diverse, offering a range of visual and tactile experiences that shaped the city's identity. Brownstone, limestone, granite, and marble, each with its own texture and color, became prominent. Brownstone, with its warm, earthy tones, was particularly favored for residential buildings, while limestone and marble added a touch of elegance to more prestigious structures. These materials gave New York's neighborhoods a distinctive character. Walking through different areas, one could see the unique blend of styles and materials that told the story of the city's growth and evolution. The Lower East Side, for instance, became synonymous with its dense rows of tenement buildings, many built with red brick. These buildings housed generations of immigrants, each adding their own layer to the rich cultural fabric of the area. Grander structures, like those on Fifth Avenue, utilized the elegance of limestone and marble. These materials were chosen not just for their beauty, but also for their durability, ensuring that these iconic buildings would stand the test of time. The city's architectural tapestry became a reflection of its diverse communities and aspirations. From the humble tenements to the grandiose facades of Fifth Avenue, each building tells a story of ambition, resilience, and the ever-evolving spirit of New York. As buildings climbed higher, a new feature appeared on New York's Skyline wooden water towers. These iconic structures became an integral part of the city's architectural identity, blending functionality with a unique aesthetic. Buildings taller than 6 stories couldn't rely on water pressure alone. Gravity became the solution. The higher the building, the more challenging it was to pump water to the top floors using conventional methods. These towers, perched atop buildings, stored water at a height. This ingenious design allowed gravity to assist in distributing water efficiently throughout the building. This height provided the necessary pressure to deliver water to the upper floors. The water would flow down through a network of pipes, ensuring that even the highest apartments had a reliable water supply. The wooden structure, often cedar, was chosen for its durability and resistance to rot. Cedar wood's natural properties made it an ideal material, capable of withstanding the elements and the test of time. These towers, once a necessity, are now charming reminders of the city's architectural past. They stand as silent witnesses to the evolution of New York City, bridging the gap between the old and the new, and adding a touch of nostalgia to the modern skyline. By the 1920s, a new type of housing emerged, the garden apartment. These low-rise apartment buildings offered a compromise between city living and a connection to nature. Garden apartments typically featured courtyards or shared gardens, providing residents with a respite from the urban hustle. This style of living was particularly popular in neighborhoods like Jackson Heights, Queens. Here, developers found ample space to create these communities, attracting residents seeking a more tranquil urban lifestyle.